Hello.
Hi. So what we were saying is we're going to wait for a couple more people to join and then we are going to start our review.
It shouldn't be longer than 5 minutes.
So we hope you are excited, yeah.
We have some really good books lined up, so stay tuned. Share this live if you want.
Yes, share it while we wait for more people to join. That would be a good way to fill the time while we do it.
Once again, we are live on 2 different platforms, on Instagram and on Facebook. So I can look up there. That's Instagram. I can look down here. That's Facebook. Thanks, Mum. Thanks for the support, Mum. This is taking longer than any other iPads. Is it a busy day today?
Oh, hello. I'm so sorry, I can't see. Bob Ding, I think that is. Yep, hi. So today we're going to be doing a review and yeah, we hope you're excited. We're just waiting for a couple more people to join before we start.
Normally when you start lives, it's not really good to get straight into it because you can kind of expect not that much people to be watching it.
So yeah, while we wait for a couple more people to join, we would really appreciate it if you could share this live with some of your friends or just tell some of your friends that we are doing this live so they can come and watch.
Thank you, Uncle.
Oh, we got another person on. Hello.
Once again, well, the people who have been here previously will hear us say this a lot while we wait, but please share this Facebook Live so we can get more people. The more people we have here, the quicker we can start doing our reviews, and we're really excited for those.
So we were just saying while we wait, we'd really appreciate it if you guys went and just shared our live and told people we were doing a live so we can get even more people and more people can see the books we're reviewing. Oh, we've got 5 people now. Hello, everybody.
Hello, those 5 people.
We're going to start very, very soon. Maybe just a couple more people join.
Yeah. We're also living on Instagram.
Oh, another person.
Is that a word, living?
Oh, 7.
My lucky number. Oh, we're climbing.
8, we're climbing.
Let's try to, do you think we should get to like
15
and then...
So guys, while you wait, because we just want a couple more people to join while you wait, we would really appreciate it. I know I've said this so many times. I'm so sorry for the people who've been here. We would really appreciate it if you guys share this live and told some of your friends we were doing this live and we could get more people on, which would be really great. And be sure to leave us a comment if you want us to say hi to you.
And if you shared it, also leave a comment so we know.
Oh, a couple more people.
11.
Hello, everybody.
12.
Oh, 12 people, okay. Nearly at 15.
Right, when we get 3 more people, when we're at 15
13.
people, we're going to start this. Okay, this is like the countdown to New Year, guys. 13.
14.
15! So let's start this off.
Okay,
hey
so
guys.
I'm Kirsten.
And I am Aiyven. I am now 11 years old. It was my birthday yesterday.
Aiyven's birthday was yesterday.
Oh yes, someone on Instagram. Who's that? Okay, I cannot see from here at all, so... Picnic with a book.
Hello, Picnic with a book. We are just starting our review now, so you were just in time.
Yes, just in time. You didn't miss out on anything, really. So we're going to be reviewing 2 books today. Actually watching...
On my full TV screen.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
That's pretty
so
cool.
Aiyven was just saying it was her birthday yesterday. Oh, they said happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And on Instagram, I got a new phone for my birthday, so I'm on my phone on Instagram. Anyways, we as much questions as we might get throughout this live, we're gonna save them for the end.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, save them to the end, and we will be sure to answer. And yeah.
Or if they're really desperate questions, ask them now. Maybe we can just give like 10 seconds to briefly explain. If it's like book related or something like that. If there's something about the review that you want to know, you can just ask that as well.
Okay, so now we're going to start our review. So I'll be reviewing Hayley the Hairy Horse by Gavin Puckett. And I actually really love this book. It's more of a kid book, but I really like it. So you guys you guys should definitely read this book.
And I'll be reviewing Phoebe Douse by Lucille Samuels. And this is an amazing book. I didn't actually get to finish this book, but this book is so interesting and intriguing that we thought that we could do a review on it. So thank you so much. We're sorry that you may have waited a while, but like the Kickstarter campaign, Lucille Samuels and Gavin Puckett, I'm sorry that you had to wait a while for us to review these books, but we had a few things like the Kickstarter campaign, and this coronavirus has really infected everything to do with our books. But sorry, affected or affected?
You said invaded.
Invaded?
Infected.
No, I said okay. Never mind. This has really affected what everything to do with our books, like writing our books, editing our books. But now we are reviewing them.
So the pictures on my book are by Tor Freeman, and you can see how good they are. I'm just going to show Instagram first.
I know, I love it. Might be, oh yeah, guys, it might be backwards, but that's just
sorry if it's backwards. Wait, could I? No, can't do anything. But I'm just going to give you guys a brief summary of my book. So this book, of course, is about this horse, and the main character actually looks rather a special horse because she's twirling, and you don't see many horses twirling these days. And you see the queen.
You don't see many horses twirling these days. I think I've ever seen a horse twirl.
So we see here's Her Majesty herself in the book, and on the back is this man, and he's the evil guy in this book. He is the evil one. So what happens is Hayley lives on a horse farm where the horses are used for stuff like violin bows, and you know the strings on violins, because we used to play violins, so we know, used for that, and the horse hairs were plucked and used for that.
For the bow or
for the bow. So one day, Hayley was getting really tired, because Hayley was a special horse. She wasn't like all the others. She was getting really tired of the boring daily horse life. So she wanted to perform in front of the Queen. And one day she got the opportunity when this man came knocking at the door. But little did she know it was not a good thing. So the man came and he asked if he could have Hayley. And of course the owner said no, because, well, Hayley was his horse. And the man was very angry, and he kept asking, and the owner said no. So he came back in the middle of the night with a pickup truck, and Hayley put up a big fight, but he picked her up and took her here to perform with her. And what he did, he tied Hayley's hair to his violin bow, and he was playing. It sounded really good at first, and everyone was loving it. But then Hayley started twirling and dancing, and you see here the strings. I don't know if you can see, but there, the string is attached to this violin bow. There's a violin bow there. And
can I see, please? This is actually really intriguing. Oh, yeah, I see.
And he goes spinning off stage. And he's eventually put in jail, guys. So he is put into his rights. So yeah, it sounds pretty good. And you've got some more books on the back. If you guys like this review, you guys should totally go and look at these. So what's the summary?
We've reviewed one of these books before, when we went to the Royal Ascot, because that's like all about horses.
Yes,
and then Gavin Puckett, he loves doing books about horses.
Yeah.
I love horses; they're amazing, and they're just really fun to read. I love the illustrations; they're playful. They're just overall awesome. Right, so Phoebe Douse by Lucille Samuels. This book, honestly, is just so amazing. So I'm gonna read you the blurb. I'm gonna read you the blurb. That's the word. Doubting the impossible becomes impossible when you discover it has always been real. Grandmother Nan's superstitious stories seem too peculiar and childish to Phoebe Douse. It's foolishness, as she likes to say. But when surprising and unfortunate circumstances in Texas lead her to accept a timely invitation to attend a remote boarding school thousands of miles away in Scotland, Phoebe finds that everything is not what she made herself believe. Unwittingly, Phoebe is thrown onto the stage of power and danger as events unfold that reveal the extent of her abilities and Nan's connection to the school. There, Phoebe is introduced to the clandestine world of S3A2 and is forced to decide between her new friends and the promises of power and S3A2 status from the welcoming but strangely mysterious Headmaster Duff. And I saw a moon on the back, so is that part of the book? Because it looks like there's some space in the book. Yeah, it is. I think it goes kind of, see, like the earth is there as well. there's the Earth there,
Ooh.
there's the moon on the
That
back.
sounds very mysterious. Just makes me want to read more. Like, what's going to
There's
on
so
in
much
the
going on in the blurb, but it's not too much that makes it like unrecognizable. And it's those blurbs are, trust me, we've had experience. Blurbs are super hard to write. So when it comes to writing a good blurb, it's like,
Yes,
what do I
they
do?
are
What do I
hard.
do? So she's done a superb thing with that.
Okay, so we've got a question.
Wait. Sorry. Wait, let's answer the question, then I'll do my summary.
Do we get to hear an extract of Hayley the Hairy Horse? Yes, we do. We are going to hear extracts of both books so you guys can get a taster of them, basically.
So, Kirsten will be going first with her taster. But before I'm going to do a quick summary of the book. I know the blurb might seem a bit long, but this summary is going to be short and sweet for you. So, Phoebe Douse, she and her best friend, she met with her best friend in the first week of kindergarten, which I think is years 4. I searched it up. It's years like 4 to 6 in England. No.
Oh.
So kindergarten is an American. I think they do it in Australia as well. I think, and it's like years 4 to 6 in England. I might be totally wrong. Don't fact check that, but you can research it. I think I'm right because I have done my research on this a bit. Yeah, I have done my research on this, so I think that's right. But anyways, they meet in kindergarten, and they instantly become best friends. And Ava and Phoebe are literally inseparable. They're always together. They went through middle school together, which is like primary school, right? Yeah, and then they went to high school, and Ava wanted to pursue her dreams of acting, so she was in the school play, and she invited some of her friends from the school play to come to one of the diners in the town that they live in called Crockett. And they all went to the diner and they ordered their food and everything. And then Ava kind of betrays Phoebe because one day on the phone they were exchanging secrets, and Phoebe said, my nan has special abilities, and my nan says I have special abilities, and she tells me weird stories and makes it seem like she's magical. And by the way, her nan passed away. I'm not very good at explaining this, but her and her nan were really close. Her nan always used to tell her stories, but as she got older, she became a bit distant with the stories and didn't really enjoy them much. Hello. But then sadly, her nan passed away, and they were so close. They lived in the same house and everything. So Phoebe told Ava that secret, and one day Ava spilled the secret, and they promised that they wouldn't tell any of them that secret. And Phoebe got payback for it, and I will explain all of that in the extract. And you know, it was all really hectic. Everything, you know, was a bit off and weird. And then yeah, I'm gonna read that in my extract. And then Phoebe, a new teacher comes to the school, and he says that Phoebe is a really bright student and gives her an invitation to a new school all the way in Scotland. So she goes to that school, but it's very mysterious and very different to our last school, and totally, you know, magical it almost seems.
Dun, dun, dun. That sounds very mysterious. It just makes you want to read the book so much more.
Sorry, I said that would be short and sweet, but I forgot like to add so many things into that. It ended up being a full-blown story.
Okay, so we've got some people on Instagram who've joined. Hello. Okay, so now I'm going to be reading my extract of the book. It's quite a short extract as well. It's medium length. So I'm at the part where I said this guy, by the way, his name is Vincent LaRue, has got a pickup truck, and he's actually taken Hayley all the way to that musical place where he's doing that with her. He's going to perform with her, and I don't know if you can see up there the lighting. I don't even know, but the lighting is a bit off. Okay, so I'm going to read it. He arrived at the concert with minutes to spare and was met with a sea of inquisitive glares. What's LaRue up to? Where has he been? He's on in 2 minutes to play for the Queen. LaRue felt his whole body shudder with rage as he lowered the horse to the side of the stage. Hayley just smiled and winked back at the man. Hayley, it seemed, had her own cunning plan. With no spare equipment, no alternative aid, just his old precious bow and the fiddle he played, LaRue knew his options were nearly depleted. But no way would the desperate man be defeated. He had one final chance to take part in that show, so he tied Hayley's tail to his violin bow. Hayley stood up with a grin on her face, and she held her head high with refinement and grace. She trotted on stage with a satisfied mind, now in total control of what followed behind. As the horse gave a curtsy, the queen seemed perplexed, uncertain of what was about to come next. LaRue took a gulp, feeling rather precarious, then lowered the bow to his old Stradivarius. That just means violin. When Hayley's tail touched the first violin string, it sounded like angels had started to sing. There was silence, and after a very brief pause, the audience cheered and began their applause. LaRue kept on playing, all snooty and formal, and acted like things were entirely normal. Silka just shrugged, unsure quite what to do, and feeling quite bewildered, they played along too. It didn't take long for the audience to find that Hayley had other ideas in mind.
I just want to give credit to Gavin Puckett so much because it's hard to like write a story as big as this using rhymes. Like I haven't been the strongest in poems.
Oh yes.
Sorry. I haven't been the strongest in poems. So I find it like really hard to do something as long as that in rhymes. Like that's amazing.
I like how thick this book is all in poem. I love writing poems, but it's just so hard to find words. Like if you end up writing about orange and like
I know orange is so hard to rhyme with. And also it's like I love writing poems as well, yeah. But it's so hard, and it's like the finishing product that looks amazing. So I want to give so much credit for that.
Yeah, I hope you guys like the extract. If you guys want to find out what this book and what happens to Vince LaRue, then you guys should definitely buy this book. It's such a good book for your children, and you can read it to them at night time.
So after this, we're going to explain a bit of the things that we do in our reviews, like the age rating, the genre of the book, that sort of stuff. But I'm going to do my extract, and this is what I very badly explained in a summary. I think you'll like this bit, guys. Let's just eat, Nate chimed in. Ava smiled. It reminded me of how a spider probably appeared to a fly that has been caught in its web. It's fun, Nate, she said. That's all it is. Friends having fun. Don't you want to see what she can do? So Ava has just told the secret that apparently Phoebe's a witch. Witch, there we go. I always do that. Speechless, Nate scratched his head and exchanged glances with everyone except me. Basking in the attention as if she just won an Oscar for lead actress, Ava wasn't the carefree, fast-talking spirit I grew up with anymore. I fumed at her cruelty and selfishness. I fumed until I thought my chest would explode. And I literally thought it would until I suddenly began to hear clear words forming. My chest relaxed as the words seeped into my brain slowly but forcefully. You think it's fun now. You think you're so sure about things, Ava Duggery. But you don't even know what's around the corner for you. The thoughts didn't ramble, and they weren't my options or feelings. They were different. These words were like strong messages that enveloped me and took over. They were deliberate and short, and they were very persistent. I called my grandmother Nan, not Granny Nanny. Nanny Granny, I seethed. Ava rolled her eyes and opened her mouth. And before you say whatever, I said, shutting her up, you should know this. He's going to come back. And when it happens, you'll remember this moment. Wait and see.
Oh,
I also forgot to explain. Ava's dad is in prison, and her mum said that she never wants to see her dad again. So it's just Ava and her mum living now. So that is who Phoebe's talking about.
Oh.
That wasn't a spoiler, by the way. That was just a well-known fact.
Oh my goodness. That extract was too much.
Brilliant extract choosing from yours truly.
Cliffhangers are my worst. Even though we do them a lot, cliffhangers just annoy me so much. And I just have to keep on reading. That is what makes me keep on reading so much. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the stuff
the practical review stuff.
Yes, the practical review stuff. So the age rating of this book, I would say, sometimes it says on the back, but this book does not. So I would say the age rating is about, well, like a 5+, just because, like, of course, I don't think a 5-year-old could read this whole book. Maybe, depend on how good they are at reading, and what their reading level is. But if you read it to them, a 5-year-old could understand this. So for like reading to them or reading on their own, definitely 5+, because this book is just, it's probably for all ages, to be honest. Because if I enjoyed it, then a 5-year-old would, and I'm sure even an adult could enjoy it.
Can I just say, I sometimes hear in movies, like, some movies are rated 12A, which is like you have to be 12 with an assistant, with an adult, sorry, as well. So maybe this can be like 5 with an adult with you there as well. And maybe like, probably, what do you think if you were going to read it by yourself? How old would you be?
7 maybe, or 6. Just depends on your reading level, really. Some people have different reading levels. But and the genre, it's definitely fantasy, because, well, it's not really fantasy. It's kind of it's kind of fiction. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's kind of fiction. This book is a fiction book, because I don't think a horse is going to come up. Well, actually,
You never know.
you never know.
But I think a horse would be like way too heavy to stand up on its 2 legs and like do a little twirl.
And
as much as I'd love it.
So yes, I think this book is fiction, but it's also a children's book. That's the genre.
What do you think the time setting is for this?
This book is pretty recent, because it's just like a recent time setting, and all the colours and everything looks recent. So I would say around this time, this century that we're in, sort of modern-y stuff, you know?
Okay, so this book, I am actually quite lucky, because it's probably going to be upside down. I'll show you Facebook people first.
Oh, can I just say that
right there?
he won the Greenhouse Funny Prize, because his books were so funny. He won the prize. You guys can't see
I don't blame them for that choice.
I know, it's very funny.
And then look there, that might be backwards for you, but it says ages 12 and up. So I'm actually underage for this book.
I'm
Call the police. So, but anyways, yeah, this age is ages 12 and up. Personally, I don't really agree with that. I obviously didn't write the book. I think maybe like 10+ or 11+. But maybe that, once again, that depends on your reading level, and it's not really mine to choose what age rating it is, because after all, I didn't write the book. The genre for this book is definitely, I think, fantasy, because as much as I love it as well, like, I'm a Harry Potter fan, I'd really want to, you know, get out my one and just be like, Expelliarmus. But as much as I love it, I think it's fantasy, because there's like magic included, and that's obviously, you know, not going to be entirely real. So it is fantasy, I think. And the time setting, this was actually printed in 2019. Did you know that, guys? So, but
recent.
Yeah, but even really recent books can be really old. Like Hetty Feather, I'm pretty sure was like introduced in like one of them was probably like in 2016 or something like that. I don't know entirely, but Hetty Feather is set in like what time is it set in? Like the
around the Victorian times.
Yeah, it's around the Victorian time. So, but this book I think is fairly modern, and but there are some really odd parts in it. Like the school that Phoebe goes to in Scotland is a really old castle. So that the castle time setting is obviously like historical, but the book is quite modern, I think. Now I'm going to tell you a bit about Cecile Samuels, because she actually has a little author section in her book right here. She looks really pretty, can I just say? I mean, like, it's not really, but okay. Do you wanna? Oh wait.
Oh, and I just want to say that thank you so much, Gavin, because he wrote us. I'll read it out what it says. He says, "To the amazing Bad book reviewers, thanks so much for your kind words and all the very best with your writing. Keep up the good work, Gavin Puckett." Thank you for signing Puckett. Thank you for signing your book for us.
That's why I love signed books. We have like a couple of signed books now.
I just love them. They're really good.
We were actually gonna do a book signing of our own, but obviously it's got to be it's cancelled now. But hopefully we can still arrange that, because I'd really love to go through it and sign people's books.
Yeah, I need to get my signature down first though, because I still end up just doing random skinny lines there.
Anyway, so Lucille Samuels, it says in here that she loved, even when she was young and up until now, she loved to write and to draw, and she loves illustrating and writing. So that's really good. I think, if I am correct, that she actually like drew these. I have no clue what I'm saying, but she may have drew these chapter pictures right here. I don't know, to be honest. I'm sorry, but it doesn't say anywhere if she did. But if she did, that's like amazing illustrations there. And oh yeah, the cover designer, I forgot to say, is jacket art by someone called Valu Edu. That's a very nice name. And she was actually she was born in Texas, but during the summertime she switches between family homes. You know what? I'm just gonna read this for you. Elle Samuels, aka Lucille Samuels, grew up in Texas and spent her summers outside the US, visiting close relatives, studying abroad, and always enjoying the wonderful cultures and places of different people and lands. From a very young age, Elle loved reading and drawing and never stopped. Elle spends her time between Texas and Switzerland, along with writing and illustrating. She operates a global education company. That's amazing. I can... Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I can see where the education part came from, because this is a really smart book. This is really well thought out. So anyways, I think the questions need to start coming.
So we've come to the end of our review. Thank you guys so much for watching, everyone who stayed through the end and everyone who joined halfway. Thank you all so much for coming to stop by and watch our review for today. Make sure you tell all your friends and family that next Thursday at 8 o'clock sharp we will be doing another live, whether it's...
And also, tomorrow at 3 p.m. we're going to be doing another reading from a random book, not our books this time, but we've chosen some books. I won't say just yet in case it spoils it. On Rayhana's page, we did that last week, wasn't it?
Yes.
And we reviewed our books. That went absolutely amazing. We loved doing that. That was just really nice. So we are back doing it again. So if you want to watch that, we will give all of the details and you can watch that.
Yeah, so if you want to find out more, just...
congratulations, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to find out more, just message us, and then we can give you Rayhana's page, and you can watch live at 3 p.m. So as I was saying, for lives, we're not just going to be doing reviews all the time. Yeah. We're going to be doing baking. I was thinking of doing like a
cooking show.
Yeah, like a little cooking show, because I really like cooking and baking and stuff. So I was thinking of doing that. Or we could do anything. You guys can just suggest some stuff.
I have a really good idea. Tell us if you like this idea. You can tell us later, or you can just tell us now. Maybe we can review other things. So maybe you guys can send in some drawings that you've done.
Yeah.
Or some, I don't know, photos that you've taken, or like some of your pet photos. And we can just go through them on a phone or something and just share our comments on them. And it will be like an honest review. So yeah, that's a really good idea. I think that would be really fun to do. So sorry, it's fine. We're just gonna give a few minutes, I think, to see if any questions are gonna start coming in.
So any questions about our books, what we'll be doing, if you have any suggestions for live, just comment them now, and yeah, we will be sure to incorporate them into a live. So just any questions that you have. If not, we will be rounding off our live for this Thursday.
Maybe like some people, maybe the live is like lagging for some people.
Yeah.
So like
you might only hear us talking about the questions now.
Yeah. I heard Mum listening back, and it was quite late because Mum was like testing out our live, listening back to it.
Because most of the Wi-Fi recently, like I've asked my friends, and their Wi-Fi's kind of crashy. I think it's because everyone's on the internet. So
yeah, everyone's like investing their time in the internet now. But if it's a bit delayed, then we're just gonna give you like a minute or so to catch up and ask us any questions. Let's see, have we got any on Instagram? Nope, not yet.
Oh, thumbs up from
Heidi. Now we wait.
Wait, there might have been some questions up there while we were doing it. So
maybe.
Let's just go through.
Wait. Okay. I don't think there's any. This mouth looks really weird right now. I don't think there's any. Well, we'll just wait.
Okay, we're just gonna wait a couple more seconds. Any questions, guys? Anything?
Any suggestions? I know I said this before.
For lives? Any suggestions for lives?
Oh yeah, any of you guys want to buy this book? These books.
yes.
Once again, we can't really give the like exact link details in this live.
You know the
But-
names, you know the authors, and you've seen the covers. Let's just
Yeah.
hold up the covers for a second.
Just type. I bet if you just type out Phoebe Douse, you'll find it.
It's
in
kind of
this video.
backwards, but that says Hayley of you guys. Can't read backwards.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that backwards?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we doing
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay.
rounding off
That's
time
a
right
wrap.
now.
I actually love rap.
Now it's a sign. It's a sign when people start leaving that it's time to leave ourselves. So thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Thank you guys on Facebook and thank you guys on Instagram for watching our live today, this Thursday. Come back next Thursday for a whole new live.
Come back tomorrow on Rayhada's page. We will contact you with the contacts if you want to know. And we are going to be reviewing some books, and we can't. I'm not going to reveal them yet. You're not going to reveal them yet. But anyways, I think that's a wrap now.
Bye.
Bye.